Good morning, everyone. My name is Akash Patil. I am pursuing my MBA in Gokte Institute of Technology, Belgaum, Karnataka. Today, we are going to see what is offer and acceptance. In this video, we'll see what is the offer, its definition. The second part is on what basis the offers are classified into. Third one, essentials of offer. Here we'll see what are the essentials we need to have for conducting any kind of offer. Later on, we'll see what is acceptance, essentials of acceptance, and finally, we are going to look after the conclusion of this video. So, let's start with the first slide. Here we'll see what is the offer. It is an expression of willingness by one person to another to enter into an agreement on the terms stated by him with an intention to obtain the assent of order. The expression of willingness can be in various forms, like it can be in email, it can be either in letter, fax, or even conduct, face-to-face conduct. However, it is important that the person communicates the terms on which he is willing to enter into a contract. Next, we will see the illustration of an offer. Here we will see Mr. A says to Mr. B that he will purchase my car for rupees 1 lakh. In this case, Mr. A is making an offer and Mr. B is the one who is accepting the offer. Here we can see there are two parties in this condition, Mr. A and Mr. B. Here, Mr. A will be the offerer who is going to offer the deal, and the Mr. B is the offeree who is going to accept the deal. Next, we'll see according to Indian Contract Act, what is the definition of an offer. Here, according to Indian Contract Act of 1872, Section 2A defines offer as when a person expresses his willingness to another person to do or to abstain from doing something and also obtain the consent of such expression. It is called an offer. Next, we will see how the offer is classified into different parts. Like the first type of the offer is general offer. A general offer is the one that is made to the public at large. It is not made any specified parties. So the member of the public can accept the offer. Any member in the sense, because it is a general offer which is made to the general public. So there will be no restrictions. So anyone can accept the offer and he is entitled to claim the rewards for that offer. For example, we will see when we put a reward for solving a puzzle. So if there is any member of the public can accept the offer, he is entitled to be paid as a reward in the case he finishes the act and solves the puzzle. Next offer is counter offer. There may be times when promise will only accept parts of an offer and change certain terms of the offer. This will be a qualified acceptance. He will want changes or modifications in the terms of the original offer. This is known as counter offer. A counter offer amounts to rejection of an original offer. The next type of offer is cross offer. Here we will see in here we will see what is cross offer. In certain circumstances, two parties can make a cross offer. This means both make an identical offer to each other at the exact same time. However, such a cross offer will not amount to acceptance of the offer in either case. For example, we'll see Mr. A and Mr. B send letters to each other offering to sell and buy a horse for rupees 5,000. This is cross offer, but it will be considered as acceptable for either of them. The next type of offer is specific offer. Here, a specific offer, on the other hand, is only made to specific parties and so only then can accept said offer or proposal. There are also sometimes known as special offers. Like for example, we will see Mr. A offers to sell his horse to Mr. B for rupees 5,000 rupees. Then only B can accept the such offer and because it is specific only for him. Next we will see what are the essential of valid offer. The first essential is the offer must be communicated. Here the essential says that the communication or expression of willingness by the offerer to enter into a contract or abstain from doing so is essential for valid offer. Mere desire or willingness to do or not to do something is not enough and will not constitute for an offer. The next essential is terms of the offer must be clear and definite. Here, the essential says that knowledge of the intention of the parties is very essential, as without this, the court will not be able to decide what the parties want to do. Therefore, the terms of the offer must be clear and definite and not loose. For example, Ram offers Shams to sell fruit rupees 60. This is not a valid offer, since what kind of fruits or their specific quantities are not mentioned in this offer. The next essential is must create a legal relationship. Here, this essential says that it is essential for a valid proposal that it must be made with the intention of creating such a legal relationship, otherwise it will only be an invitation. A social invitation may not create a social relationship. An offer must be contract which create legal obligation and consequences in the case of non-performance of contract. Next, we will take a small example as a case. Mr. Barflow was a civil engineer and worked for the government as a director of irrigation in Ceylon, which is now Sri Lanka. In 1915, both of them came back to England when Mr. Balfour was on leave due to an illness of Mrs. Balfour. She was unable to come back to Ceylon with her husband. The husband promised to pay her 30 euros per month to his wife until she rejoined him in Ceylon. The husband failed to pay her the said amount, hence the wife sued him for the amount. Now we'll see what was the judgment of the court. The court held the husband was not liable as there was no intention to create a legal relationship in this. For example, Mr. A agrees to sell Mr. B 300 liters of oil in exchange of 500 kg of grains. Is this a valid offer? We'll see the answer. It is not a valid offer because the terms of the offer are very vague. There is no mention of what kind of oil Mr. A is willing to sell to Mr. B. Neither Mr. B has mentioned what kind of grains 500 kg he is going to give to Mr. B. Now let's see what is acceptance. For creation of any valid contract, it is essential that a party who is the offerer makes a proposal on which acceptance is given by the other party who is called as offeree. The definition according to Indian Contract Act of 1872 defines acceptance in section 2B as when the person to whom the proposal has been made signifies his assent thereto, the offer is said to be accepted. Thus the proposal when accepted becomes a promise automatically. The next slide we will see. Therefore, once an offer is accepted, it cannot be revoked because it is become a promise which creates a legal obligation between the parties. For example, Anita offers to buy Priya's car for rupees 10 lakhs and Priya accepts such an offer. Now this has become a promise. So it cannot be void contract or it cannot be revoked once it is accepted. The next we will see the essential of valid acceptance according to Indian Contract Act of 1872. Section 7 of Indian Contract Act 1872 lays down two essentials of the valid acceptance: must be unconditional and absolute. Here we will see the condition should not be there in the valid acceptance. A conditional acceptance will not be a valid acceptance as it would amount to a counter offer which would nullify the original offer. The next essential is must be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner. We will take a small case as an example. Estrange and Grokov in 1934. Estrange was a buyer and Grokov was a seller. A buyer signed an agreement for a purchase of a cigarette vending machine without reading its terms. One of the terms excluded liability for all kind of defects in the vending machine. The machine supplied was defective, but here we will see the twist. The court held that the supplier was not liable to pay the buyer compensation. Why? Because here we can see even though it was not mentioned and the seller claims that terms excluded liability for all kind of defects in the machine. So the court says that supplier was not liable to pay the compensation to the buyer. Next is conclusion. Offer and acceptance analysis is a traditional approach in contract law used to determine whether an agreement exists within two parties. An offer is an indication by one person to another of their willingness to contract of certain terms without further negotiations. The contract is then formed if there are expressed or implied agreement. A contract is said to be into existence when acceptance of an offer has been communicated to the offerer by the offeree. Here I conclude my video. Hope this was very useful. If you understood anything, please like, subscribe the channel and like my video and help me in gaining good marks. Thank you.